Hello and welcome to Ginger Welsh Allotments. I am Bethan and I've made it over to my plot today and I'm going to plant out my onions. I didn't do them on Monday because it was too windy, but today it's quite tranquil and the sun is out, and when I plant my seeds or plant veg that I've grown from seed into the ground, I really do like to do it on a sunny day where there's not much wind. So this is ideal. So I'll show you what I've brought over with me and then we'll get planting. I've brought some water over because my water butts are not all that full, even though I haven't used much water since winter. They just haven't accumulated much. And some of them got emptied as well when the vandals visited. And down here are my collection of onions that I grew from seed, and these are Ailsa Craig, shallots and red baron. So I'm going to plant them in the ground next to the garlic. I have got a row that I overwintered over there that I planted from set, and these ones here are going to be from seed. I wanted to see if there was any comparison. So I've got my line ready. I'll just plant either side of the line. And when I was over here the other day, I asked for advice about my garlic, and the majority of people who replied said I should put some chicken manure pellets on the ground. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll put some chicken manure pellets down. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Let's get on with planting out these onions. That's all the onions in now, and so this is more for me to remember what things are. I've got shallots here, then red baron, then Ailsa Craig. So that's for me. I've put labels in, but they're not actually labelled. They're just there for markers so I can see where the one sort ends and the next sort begins. So I'll try and remember that. Ailsa Craig, red baron, shallots, and I just got a little bit of room down there for my elephant garlic to go in, and then the rest of this bed is free for something else to go in. But I'll be rushing off in a minute, but I think I've just got enough time to sort out that bed over there. This bed has been fleeced all winter and has been growing turnips and radish, but I'm expecting the radish to go straight on the compost heap because it will probably be too woody, but I reckon the turnips should be good. So I'm going to try and clear this bed now, ready to plant something else in it very soon. Oh, look at that one. So I'll just clear off all the foliage and clean these up and take these home. And the radishes, like I said, I'll put straight onto the compost. And now I gotta run and get my daughter from school, but I'll be back in a bit. It is now 4 o'clock and I've eventually made it back over. It's just typical. If I go home at all, I very rarely get back over this allotment the same day. But as you can see behind me, that's where the turnips and radish was this morning. There's just a couple of weeds and some spring onions left in that bed, but I'm now turning my attention to the broad bean bed, which I've uncovered today, so I'll show you what's occurring there. Here is the broad bean, spinach and Swiss chard bed, and as you can see, who was it who said the other day, someone said, as you can see, I hate that saying. Well, as you can see, they've got flowers on them. So my job now is to harvest my spinach, which is in that row there, and my Swiss chard around here. Then thoroughly weed, remove these hoops because I'm not going to fleece them again, and did I say a thorough weed? Well, a thorough weed, and then I'm going to replace these canes and tie in the broad beans. And once I've done that, it will probably be time to go home. But I'll show you how I get on after I've done it. It's 5:15 now, so it's taken me about an hour to harvest and tie the broad beans in. So I've done quite a brutal harvest, but this is what I did the last time, and the spinach and Swiss chard bounced back straight away. So I think, like with most things, the more you harvest, the more they grow. Here is the harvest for today. I got the turnips, the spinach this side, and then a load of Swiss chard that side. If you come around here, I just want to show you the lovely redness of that Swiss chard. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've also got a yellow one further along, and the rest seem to be just sort of white, but you can't see that awfully well, but they do look scrumptious in this light. And the broad beans I've just loosely tied in, so there's a fair amount of give on there because the plants are still growing, so I don't want to strangle the growing stem, and I'll just tie them in as and when they grow. And it may look like the canes are a bit overkill at the moment, but the broad beans do grow, or they should grow, quite high. So all I gotta do now is put a little bit of chicken manure pellets down onto the soil and give it a water. As always, I was hoping to get a lot more done than I have, and I was hoping to have a bit more time over here today, but unfortunately it hasn't planned out that way. But I'm pleased to have got my broad beans sorted out and harvested the last of the turnips and radish, and I just want to weed that bed now, and then it's ready for whatever I'm going to plant in there next, which I think is going to be some carrots. That's it from me for today. All I can say about that is lovely job.